here we are. It is 8 fucking years later.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. That's not true.
Fucking
true.
That's not true. Freaking true. It has been 8 years, almost exactly.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, almost exactly 8 years since we started doing this podcast. And now here we are. The last episode
of the campaign.
Of this campaign.
Of this campaign. Of this campaign. Of this campaign.
Of this campaign.
The podcast continues. The podcast
We've
continues.
already got
Podcast
stuff
continues.
we're working on.
We're already so excited about the next campaign.
Yes.
I love you all very much. Thank you for doing this amazing thing with me. This is as sincere as I'm ever going to get about this, but thanks for doing this thing. When I came to Juniper's birthday party and said, hey, we should do a D&D podcast. Thank you for doing it with me.
Kat, thank you for asking.
Thanks for letting me join your podcast. I think at this point it's our podcast, Sarah.
Yeah, I think you've been here for more years than not. So.
Yes.
Yes.
And also, like, where would we be without you to tell us which?
Where would you be without me to write your names on everything that I give you at all times?
Yeah,
it
like,
really
we wouldn't
helps.
even know who we are anymore.
Yeah,
I would forget.
I assume that if I don't write your names on things, you guys will cease to have identities.
Yeah, that's true.
You're right.
That's so true.
So important. But yeah, thank you guys. I think we started the podcast in a tough place. And everything's fine now. And, we've gone through a lot. And
we'll continue to go through a lot.
And we'll continue to go through a lot. But I'm glad that we're doing this together as we do, because it is, I don't know, it feels healthy.
It feels healthy.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Healthy.
It makes me feel so normal and good to be with my friends and make a podcast.
Yep.
It's a true millennial experience.
Mm-hmm.
And laughter is the most important medicine for
That's so true.
everything.
Oh, okay. This is all way too fucking sincere. What was your favorite joke for the whole podcast? Go.
Oh my God. How am I going to remember?
You have to choose right now.
Fuck.
I don't remember anything I've ever said, and I think you all know that. I know. I think one of my favorite moments from the podcast was the first time that Fran summoned a demon. Yeah, that's pretty special. Back on the Pirate Island. And also, like, the Pirate Island was one of my favorite parts. I love the Pirate Island. That was cool.
This happened recently, but it is one of my most cherished memories, was hitting a nat 20 while writing Big Drill.
Fucking Big Drill.
Specifically because of how absolutely furious, genuinely,
that
everybody was in the room. They were so mad at me.
That was the moment that I realized that D&D is a broken game.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's one of my most cherished memories.
Wow. It's a cold and it's a broken hallelujah. I have to think about this. This is too hard.
Also, cherished memory is back in the day when we recorded in Noelle's parents' basement on a folding table with a blanket on top of it.
I actually did have the thought. I was like, man, we should have organized this.
I know.
Yeah, to Noelle's parents'
That'd be funny.
house.
I wish we had taken pictures of that, though, because it would have been fun to see like a before and after of the setup.
True.
Yeah. Our setup is so much better.
So much better.
It's very different.
And very different.
Very different.
Still in Noelle's house, though.
Yeah.
Still in Noelle's house. We'll never leave Noelle's house.
Yeah.
We haven't left Noelle's house since high school.
We've been living here, actually, this whole time.
They all live in my house, but it's my house, not our house.
No, it's Noelle's house.
I bought a house, but I don't live in it.
Yeah, no, I'm paying for an apartment, but my dog lives there.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I live here for the most part.
Nice. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. It just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
Errol, have you thought of a favorite moment?
I'm trying to,
I can tell you my favorite Slake moment.
Okay.
Is when you were trying to find those, what are the fucking shells?
Oh, the oyster shells or whatever, digging through there.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was so funny.
I think actually, honestly, that heist was
It was a really
good
heist.
heist.
It was a good,
I really
That was funny.
very much enjoyed the heist.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, some of my favorite moments are, as a DM, my favorite moments are actually a lot of bonus campaign stuff, because that stuff was really fun for me to design.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because that's where you get to show your dungeon designing
puzzles,
is
yeah.
the most on blast.
Actually, another favorite moment of mine, this is a very learning moment for me, was actually in one of the first episodes where I sent you guys down into this dungeon, and there was a puzzle that involved a mirror, and I knew go and I had been warned. I think I'd sent the thing to my brother, and I was like, hey, can you look at this and tell me what you think? And he was like, I don't understand this puzzle. And I was like, it'll be fine. And it was fucking not fine. And I learned very quickly the puzzle solving ability of my friends.
Mhm.
Well, some of that too is that I can only speak for myself. But specifically when trying to solve puzzles as Corbin,
Mhm.
it's not possible.
That's so fair.
It's not possible.
I love your dedication to being in character.
You should get points of inspiration for not solving puzzles.
I should get points of inspiration for not solving puzzles and being a method actor.
You should.
You should. You should.
I'm thinking about like when we were in the Madrian Corps. That's like when I first joined, I think,
Mhm.
which was a very exciting time for me.
That was another good one. That was a
Mhm.
great.
Fun.
That was a
That
great
was
arc.
a good art.
And I'm just remembering how weird and annoying we were to all those different noble people. I'm specifically thinking about, I think, Lord DBBB.
Yeah.
And us all making fun of his name.
DBBB died.
I know,
Yeah,
off
dude.
screen. I know, and us having like no fucking respect whatsoever. And like, wasn't that too like the guy like dying in the bed? I think was it Lord
Well,
DBBB?
oh
And
my
we brought
I
him
think that
the mouth boy hungry hand
Yes.
door car hook hand man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Ah.
didn't
What was that
die.
phrase?
It was Off Boy Hungry Brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Off Boy Hungry Brand. That's right.
Oh, that's a
fuck.
good one.
And who
That's a
could
good one.
forget all the adventures we've had with our best friend Slugbird?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
so
That's
true.
good.
That truly is an absolute highlight because that was such a throwaway
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the moment. Like it's a
Yes.
throwaway joke that
Mhm.
literally gained legs
I also
and has come back to haunt us.
liked when Kat made it canon that Slugbird owed Darius money.
Yes.
That was also
very good. That was very good.
With all that said, for the last time, let's play D&D. Hello, I'm Kat. I'm your DM, and I probably will play D&D again. We'll probably be saying that phrase again.
Someday. Hi, I'm Noelle, and I'm playing Fran for one last episode.
Hi, I'm Juniper, and I play Corbin, I guess for the last time.
Yeah.
But I feel like 100 years from now, when we're like really super uber famous and one of us is president, they'll probably like get us to come back and do like a memorial.
reunion,
Yeah,
a
I don't
reunion.
reunion tour.
I don't think it'll even be that much. I think we'll probably
Like,
come back to these.
Yeah, we
characters
can
sometime.
come back to them for like bonus shit.
Yeah, for bonus
yeah,
episodes
yeah.
and stuff.
But I actually, I'm Errol and I play Slake, and I vow to never play D&D or Slake ever again in
God.
any context, no matter what happens. I don't care if you hold a gun to my head. I simply won't do it.
I love your dedication.
really
Absolutely
dedicated. That's really
ruthless
dedicated.
vibe, a ruthless vibe.
And that's why you're going to be the one of us that's president.
Mhm, that's true.
Speaking of dedications, we have a special dedication on this
We do,
episode.
we do.
We do.
How
Very
could we forget?
special dedication.
We dedicate this episode, the final episode of the podcast,
And the entire podcast.
and the entire podcast itself
Retroactively.
to our dear, wonderful friend Seth, who is watching my dog today for me and has watched my dog many times
Yeah.
and will continue to do so while we record.
Yeah.
And Juniper forgot to tell him that they needed him to watch their dog until
I
like
specifically
yesterday.
I forgot to tell him that I needed him to watch my dog until literally yesterday.
I think, no, it was actually
It was-
Friday on stream.
It was on stream.
Live on stream.
It was
Live
live
on
on stream to our patrons, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're recording on Sunday." And then Seth was like, "Hey Juniper, is there something you need to ask me?"
And so for
Yeah.
these reasons and many more,
and many more. We,
we dedicate this to you, Seth.
This one's to you,
This
buddy.
goes out to you.
So
This
it's
goes out
Seth.
to you.
All right. All right. When the light clears from your eyes, you find yourself blinking up at a pink and purple sky. The last twilight stars are just winking out into the pale light of morning, and the ocean tide laps at your feet. Fran, you find the strength to sit up first. And when you do, you look around and find that you've been washed up on the shores of Rudval, which is scattered with timber and debris from the battle. You look over to see that Mary is awake, sitting next to Phelan's unconscious form. The wings, the choker, the glow, all of that is gone now. Her eyes still flash unnaturally gold, and the metallic tear tracks still stain her cheeks. But power no longer crackles under the surface like it did when she absorbed her parents' powers. Mary looks at you and signs, "Welcome back."
Fran gasps and scrambles to her feet and falls to her knees in front of Mary and kind of grabs at like her elbows so she can hold on to her, but Mary can still sign.
Yeah.
And she says, "Is it over?"
Mary nods. It's over.
Tears start to gather in Fran's eyes, and she says, "Do you think it worked?"
Mary looks down at her hands, and then she nods and signs, "Well, I think I feel a lot better."
Fran nods really quickly and just like dives into Mary's arms.
Oh, and Mary holds you.
And Fran says, "I'm really sorry."
Mary hugs you and pulls back and signs, "You've been out for a while, but before we got here, I had my own chat with Yovia."
Oh.
It was enlightening, I guess. Fran, what you did, I can't say I ever would have made that choice. Only because I never would have wanted to put all of you in harm's way like that. Not for me. So while I don't agree with what you did," she pauses and looks down at her hands, clenches them and unclenches them. That sort of power, it was all-consuming. I could feel it stripping away my sense of self, even in the brief time that I held it, and I'm really glad that I still get to be me. But next time, let's tackle the problem together, okay?
Okay.
And she hugs you really, really tight.
And Fran has not let go this whole time, and she's like squeezing just like some kind of rabid animal.
And then Mary pulls back just enough to sign to you. And you have to say sorry to Slake and Corbin.
Ugh.
You have to.
Fran doesn't say anything, but she tries to wipe her tears with the heel of her hands and wipes her nose with the back of her hand. And she looks over at Corbin and Slake and Phelan.
Slake, you wake up next to the sound of waves and gulls and Fran speaking to Mary.
Okay. Yeah, I pull myself up onto my elbows and I look around and kind of try to orient myself. And I see Mary and Fran. And I say, "Is everyone okay?"
Mary nods quickly and gives you a thumbs up.
Fran, like at the sight of you waking up, just has once again dissolved into blubbering sobs. But she like nods.
I run over and I look at Mary and I kind of pat her down and I'm looking at her and like surveying. I'm like trying to make sure she's all right.
Mm-hmm.
And Fran kind of like recoils from Mary so that you can have your time with her. And she's kind of crumpled in on herself.
She smiles and even laughs a little bit. And then she signs, "It's like, I'm okay. I'm good. I'm better. Even. A lot better."
I'm glad. And then I turn to Fran and I grab Fran by her upper arms and I like look at her.
Fran cannot look at you back. She is like completely avoiding your gaze and like crumpled up like a little old man crying.
I shake her like a doll.
She just flops around.
And I say, "I'm so mad that your stupid plan worked." And I give her a big squeeze and I say, "Are you okay? You're all right?"
Fran kind of just continues to sob, but she gets out You don't have to pretend like you still care. It's okay.
Shut up! Of course I care, you idiot! You better be fine because I'm going to throw you in the fucking ocean!
Slake's rage has been unlocked by his experience.
I love Slake's rage.
Fran like flops to the side and she's like, well, that's where I like to be.
I grab her and I tackle Fran into the ocean.
Fran breathes.
As you guys surface from the surf, you hear Phelan's croaking out. What is happening? Are we still fighting?
Slake is like laughing and hysterically and crying.
Fran is just crying, but she's just like laying down in the water like a corpse.
I grab Fran's hand and I drag her out of the water over to Phelan.
And Phelan rubs at his head. He feels like, I feel like I have the worst headache I've ever had.
Do you feel more like evil again? Like
What?
Like, do you feel like maybe like
Are you normal?
Is like a heart a heavy burden or like anything like that?
And Phelan puts a hand on his heart and he says, I feel different. Like normal? In a way I haven't felt normal in a long time.
Oh, I want to give Phelan a big hug.
oh, God. Oh, I'm also really sore, apparently.
I'm sorry.
Fran is just like continuing to sob, but she's like blindly reaching out for his hand.
Oh, he takes your hand and he's like, it's okay. I'm okay, Fran. What's going on? Why is Corbin passed out? And Mary comes over to you.
And we all look at Corbin's body.
Corbin died.
And, Mary like crawls in the sand over to Corbin and like she feels Corbin's like vital signs and her hands glow gold briefly and she looks up and signs. He's fine. He's fine. He's just sleeping in. And Corbin, you're sleeping in. What are you doing in your dreams?
So in my dreams, I want to go contact Pavia as I have concerns about her.
Okay. So you contact Pavia and things look in like her dream realm space where you visited her before. It all looks pretty much the same. And Pavia meets you in this space and she says, Corbin, my child, what has happened?
Hi, Mom. So I just want to give you a heads up about some stuff me and my friends did. Well, my one friend, Fran, so pissed at her. But, like, she did some stuff, and we went to the forces. Well, basically, now it's gonna be... Magic is gonna be for everybody, and the gods are gonna not be gods anymore. But so I wanted to check in on you because you're, like, a god, but, like, you're dead. So I wanted to know if you're gonna be dead still after you're not a god anymore.
I see. Are you saying that we are freed from the yoke of the forces, then?
Yeah, the yoke is broken. Yoke broke.
Then this is wonderful news.
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
I have long lingered in this state, Corbin, neither alive nor dead. I do not know what the future will hold for me now that the forces are no longer chained to this world, but change is not bad, Corbin. Not always.
I know.
And I am excited to see what the future will hold in a world where the gods are not the highest authority.
First thing I'm going to do is kill Dawson.
Well, I cannot speak to that, my child. But know that he is tenacious. And always has been.
He's a dead man walking.
Well, Corbin, I think we must discuss this more another time.
Okay, but just like if you feel like you're dying, like you just have to let me know, okay? Because like I know that things change and like people die and stuff and like that's okay, but I just have to know if that happens, okay? So you just have to contact me. Don't be a stranger.
Don't worry, Corbin. I'm still with you.
Okay.
But now, it's time to wake up.
Oh, I guess I'll say hi to my stupid friends who betrayed
And
me.
as you're saying this, your mouth starts moving in the real world.
I wake up and all you hear is my stupid friend who betrayed me.
Corbin,
Oh,
how you doing?
I'm awake. My mom's alive for now. I'm here.
I'm glad friend didn't kill your mom by accident.
Me too.
Because that could have happened.
That could have happened. You're right, Slake. You're so right.
I put my arm around Fran. I want Fran to know that I'm just aggressively being her friend.
I also go over and Corbin puts his arm around Fran too, not because he's like ready to forgive,
Yeah.
but just because he knows that it's going to torture Fran. And so he does that.
I'm keeping her in place.
Yeah.
Fran continues to sob.
And Mary signs Corbin.
What?
I think Fran has something that she needs to say to you guys.
Oh, does she? Sorry.
And Fran can barely get out any words. There's just like snot running down her
And
face.
it's not like there's a hostile presence.
And
making
there's
it
like
difficult for
there's
you.
some two like really bad energies like surrounding her body. But she's been dealing with a lot of bad energy for a long time now, so she finally sniffs and looks from Corbin to Slake, and she says, "I'm sorry. I didn't want to put you guys in danger. I'm sorry. You know we love you, you little wiener."
Fran, as I've said before, you're my best friend. And literally, you could kill a person in cold blood right in front of me, and I would never turn my back on you for it. And I will get over this in time. And thank you for apologizing. And I'm going to hold this over you for a very long time. But I accept your apology.
And yeah, you're gonna talk to us next time.
Yeah.
You're gonna talk to us about your feelings, Fran.
Yeah, Fran, I want to know when you're going to the bathroom.
I don't want to know that.
I want to know every step of your relationship with Phelan.
I don't want to know that either.
Unrelated reasons, and not because you've crossed me. I just want to know.
And Phelan goes, "What did I do to
Phelan, this isn't about you.
Fran sniffs again and she says, "Well, I'm feeling a little hungry. All right, we're gonna get some snacks."
Hey, you guys. Where are we?
As you say that, Corbin, you hear someone down the beach yelling, "Hey! Hey!"
And I know the person that's calling us is a Hungry Boy salesman, Cat.
Yeah,
I know that that's who it is, Cat.
Cat.
And there's been three in the rubble.
Corbin doesn't even have to like think about whether or not it's Hungry Boy. Like he's already smelled it the second he said, "Where are we?" He knew, and he just left all of you and started running.
Cat, you have to confirm that it's the Hungry Boy, Cat.
It's not a Hungry Boy.
Why would a Hungry Boy salesman be wandering through war-torn, destroyed roofs?
Because that's his job. That's what he does to earn money to make a living.
It is not a Hungry Boy, but
Dude.
it is Prince Azam.
Corbin falls to his fucking knees, dude.
He might be hungry.
And he's yelling back over his shoulder. He yells, "I found them! They're here!"
Corbin falls to the ground before Prince Azam, and he's like, tears start flowing. And it's like that thing where like you're crying, but you're not really crying about the thing that you think you're crying about.
Yeah.
And he crawls onto the ground, and he's just like in a ball.
And Azam goes, "What? What happened? What's going on? Why are you crying, Corbin?"
Where's the Hungry Boy?
We just thought maybe you were a Hungry Boy
I smelled it with my nose.
And Azam turns over his shoulder and goes, "Quick! We need a Hungry Boy!"
I'm the Hungry Boy.
All right. So you guys find out from Prince Azam as he escorts you from the beach and several other, it looks like soldiers who have been doing some sort of search and rescue missions or looking for you maybe. They come, they've got like blankets and they've got some like clean, fresh water for you guys. And Azam immediately orders one of them to go find a hungry boy. And they're like, I don't think there's a hungry boy that's open. And
Corbin is wailing in the background.
And Azam says, figure it out. These are the heroes that saved all of us, and they deserve whatever they want.
And so begins our tyrannical rule.
So as Prince Azam escorts you guys back towards the ruined town, you find out from him that what felt like a very brief sojourn inside the void for you guys was in fact several weeks.
Oh my God.
Oh, whoa.
To those left in the realm of what is, you simply vanished from your rooms after the night of the battle and have been missing ever since. The cleanup and the restoration of the Dwarven Kingdom has already begun under the stern guidance of King Selmy. The dwarves have begrudgingly allowed their allies from Estra to use magic to speed up the reconstruction, though many still cover their eyes and ears whenever a spell is cast. Prince Azam takes you back to the forward camp that they have set up in the ruins of Rudval, in the square where the giant doors connect Rudval to Essedel. You can see all of the construction that's already underway. Lots of scaffolding has been put up, bricks are being relayed, all the material that has been scattered on the ground, just the ruins and the rubble, is being recycled, and they're sorting through what they can still use and what they can turn into new bricks and what's just trash. So you can see all of this happening around you. In the camp, Selny is set up in a beautiful tent, sparsely appointed. There's not a lot of supplies to go around, but it seems like they really broke out the best of what they could find in the ruins of Esudel in order to set Selny up in a kingly tent. And she is there conferring with Sam, who is bent over a table of maps, and they are conferring about, everything that's still going on. And when you guys come in, Selny looks up and she goes, all right, so you're back.
Selny!
Selny, what no tears, no hug, no, you don't even care?
Selny looks at you guys and she frowns and says, that was me caring.
I'm sorry, Selny, you're right. I'm so sorry.
Fran is like a withered husk. She looks like a SpongeBob character when they wither up and dry up. And she just floats forward into Selny's arms and hoping that she will be received.
We'll follow.
Yeah, we follow instantly.
I'm gonna help Fran initiate hug.
Yeah, that has to happen.
I roll to assist.
And Selny just goes utterly stiff in all of your arms, but then she reaches out one arm and gently pats your shoulder twice, Fran.
Mm-hmm.
Me.
Fran is rejuvenated.
That's all right. Okay, I am king now, and I order you to remove yourselves from me.
Okay.
All right, Selny.
Thanks.
Good talk.
Well, you.
Congratulations on becoming king.
Yeah, congrats. I know you wanted it so bad.
I know that you were campaigning to become the king, Selny.
Guys.
Well, at least for now. No one else was in a position to take on the role, and technically it is mine.
Hey,
So
you know what they always say? A wise man once said, a good king is a king who doesn't want to be king. I said that. That was me.
Yeah, I've never heard it, but I
said
like it.
I'm wise.
I agree with it.
Thank you.
well, I suppose catch us up on what's been going on with you.
Well, wait, we want to know, where's Varhara?
What? The boar god.
Yeah.
Oh, he's in the forest.
Oh my God.
Alive.
Alive in the forest?
Alive in the forest?
Well, he's fine.
Why did you pause for so long?
Fuck, Sally!
Tell me what the fuck?
What is wrong with you?
Why would you do that?
God!
It's like a devil possessed you.
Oh my
Christ.
God. And Alden's with Varhara, and he's fine, and it's fine.
You mean the boy with the leaves in his hair?
Who else do we mean?
Yes, he's fine as well, to the best of my knowledge.
There's no pause there, huh?
I don't see them very often. They're out in the forest. I'm busy here, but I
Selmy.
guess
They're still here on the continent.
So crazy what you just said.
Yes,
I can't
it is.
believe it.
perhaps you did not know this, but it is in fact quite difficult to move a 40-ton boar across the ocean.
Well, it was easy when we did it.
Yeah, it wasn't a problem for us.
Well, when you don't have, and she waves towards Mary, that to assist you. It's a bit of a more complicated proposition, but Yes, they're fine.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So then we let Selny know
Mhm.
what we did.
Yeah.
Sally-
Who wants to say? Who wants to say?
I would assume that you guys are going to make Fran do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Corbin's saying that and he's looking at Fran.
Okay. Fran looks around like someone will save her from this situation. And then she steps forward and she says, King Selny, Wolf of the Waves,
Not my name, but okay.
Your Majesty, I did something that I think will be good in the long run, but I don't think you're going to like it.
All right, so you explain what you've done to Selny.
Yeah, so the dwarves are going to have a magic.
And you see her expression getting... You see the light leaving her eyes.
Oh my god.
It was for the good of the world. It was for the good of the world. It was for the good of the world.
And she holds up a hand. She says, I see. So, in exchange for having a couple dozen magic-wielding maniacs, we will now have untold numbers.
But they won't be able to do that much.
They won't be as powerful.
We'll all cancel each other out.
Yeah, and you'll have magic too.
Oh.
You'll be one of us, Selny.
One of us.
One of us.
And Selny, holds up a hand to you guys. She walks past you out of the tent, and you just hear her yell, and she walks back in, very calm, very stately. She says, all right. Thank you for this news.
Taking it so well, Selmy.
You take it really
This is
well.
amazing.
Sam, who has also been standing by, she has a bit more of a thoughtful expression on her face at this news. And she says, I see. And how long do you think it will take for all of that to take effect?
We didn't get
Unclear.
exact measurements. Maybe like a few years.
Maybe more than that. We don't know for sure.
But all the gods are ungodded, right?
yeah, the gods are not beholden to their forces anymore. So a god that's gotta kill people doesn't have to kill people anymore unless that's what they want to do.
I see.
Then I guess they could still kill people.
But we
Or I
can
guess-
still kill them.
A god that didn't want to kill people before but wanted to but couldn't could now.
All right.
I mean, you're not helping.
I'm just laying it all out just so that it's really clear what's happening.
Well, my brother, we were just discussing him. Orestes.
Yeah, I looked at Phelan when she said
Yeah.
my brother.
Yeah. Phelan perks up when she says Orestes' name. And she says, we were just discussing the latest reports of him. And she gestures at the map. And she says, last he was seen was at the end of the battle, soaked in blood and wearing a, cloak made of scarred white skin.
Sounds normal.
It sounds like him.
Sounds like Orestes.
As in the skin of Raskar.
It does look that way.
Well, prophecies ain't prophesying for nothing.
Well,
Is the skin useful?
no, I don't think so.
I think it really helps him.
Well,
You
I,
want the skin?
I
No.
think it really helps him.
no, I just wanted to know if we're being told about the skin because
I just think it's healthy for him to have it.
I think it's good for him.
listen, I just wanted to know, and I want you to understand where I'm coming from here. It's just,
Phelan, are you okay with him having the skin?
I
Did you
wondered if
want
we're
some
being
of it?
told about the skin because it's just fucked up that he's wearing a guy's skin, or if we're being told about the skin because it's a big skin-related problem.
Yeah, it's
Not that.
I
Probably not
skin
that.
made him
Problem for
super,
somebody.
super strong if it was full of skin power, okay?
And
It's a legitimate question.
I'm full of skin power.
Phelan says, I don't think I like that he has a skin, but
Yeah, I don't like it either.
it doesn't honestly sound very out of character for him.
No, I know.
He looks at Sam, who shrugs, and she says, it probably still has some residual magic. He was an old and very powerful god who was regularly sacrificed to, so it's probably not great, but Phelan nods. But he took the mantle of Raskar's power before he looks back at you guys, did what you did.
Yeah, but like it doesn't matter. He's not beholden to the forces anymore, and so like I'm sure he's crazy on his own.
Yeah, Phelan and Sam look at each other when you say, well, he's not beholden to the forces anymore. The two of them look at each other, and the look passes between them that says quite a lot.
Is he one of those gods that like wanted to kill more people?
Yes.
Does that mean we have to go hunt down Orestes?
You all look around the tent at each other, but those are adventures for another time, and stories for others to tell. The world of Avalis is set on a new trajectory now, one where magic will pool and eddy in the world and the populace, rather than concentrate in the hands of the few. Some of the gods are more pleased with this than others, but all are relieved to be freed from the yoke of the forces. For some, this is a cause of great good, and while for others, perhaps now their most base and violent impulses are the ones they will follow. But as Yovia promised, the changes that will befall this world will be slow, and you are unlikely to see the full effect in your lifetime. However, the age of gods is over, and the age of mortals has begun.
By Lucifer's beard, listeners, it's the last Dames and Dragons mid-roll. Unless, like, if the Q&A ep has a mid-roll, which I'm not sure about, but, like, this is the last episode of this campaign, so, wow, that's a big deal. I'll try not to goof it up. There's a lot of things to say and people to thank, so let's get cracking. First off, I have some schedule stuff to tell you about. As Noelle mentioned in the last mid-roll, we have our Q&A episode coming up. You can send us questions on Patreon, Tumblr, or via email. Our website is legendlark.com for those links. And the Q&A will be streamed live for video content tier patrons on Patreon on April 11th at 6:30 p.m. CST, and then released on April 30th on the main feed for the podcast. That release will be a week later than usual to give us some breathing room in our editing schedule. So if you can't wait to hear that Q&A and you want to have the chance to ask questions live in the chat, then go ahead and sign up at patreon.com/legendlark. Speaking of which, I want to thank our new patrons. Thank you, Yvonne Russell, Sky Lupic, Sockhop, Bejeaned Fellow, and Greg. Patrons, we appreciate your support so much, all of you. I'm so glad we've been able to sustain the show for this long, and we couldn't have done it without you, and we're going to keep doing it, so we hope you'll stick around. And of course, if you do support the show on Patreon, you'll get access to loads of bonus content, like outtakes, live streams, bonus episodes, and even mail rewards, depending on what tier you sign up for. So if you're having end-of-the-campaign withdrawal, please go check it out. We have some really good bonus content on there for free, too, so you can follow us on Patreon even if you can't commit to a paid membership. I also want to thank our reviewers on Apple Podcasts. We really appreciate you helping boost the show's ratings and hopefully helping to introduce it to new listeners. Thank you, MN Zach and Alien Booty, for your very sweet reviews. I'd also like to thank everyone who's been commenting and rating the show on Spotify. I've loved reading your comments on the episodes. I'm just so grateful for all the folks who've shown support to the show in different ways. There's been so many times throughout the years that seeing your comments and your fan art and mail have cheered me up after a bad day at work or otherwise bolstered my spirits through difficult times. You guys are truly the best. Speaking of which, I have two people to thank for the beautiful fan mail they sent to our P.O. box. Glue, I apologize it's taken so long to get this thank you out to you. Things were a little crazy at the time I got it in our mail, but I wanted to say I really appreciated it, as did we all. Juniper was floored you drew Mikhail, which I am probably pronouncing wrong. Glue sent us each a personalized note with fan art of our characters, and it's adorable. I will post pictures of both fan mails on our Tumblr so folks can see how great they are. Thank you, Evie, or Asterian Arts on Instagram, who sent us a lovely postcard along with beautiful original artwork of Corbin encountering Dawson's brother in the bag, and a wonderful lino cut print of the Hungry Boy sign. The Hungry Boy art was part of an amazing fan-organized zine from 2023 called Roll to Fall in Love, so you can find that on Tumblr, or we posted a link to it on our Patreon as well. You just gotta dig back a little bit. Woo, so much to say, so many emotions. I do also want to say that I am so excited for everyone to hear our new campaign. I'm in love with the setting Kat has created and the characters that Noelle and Juniper are playing. And we just finished recording our first heist, which was so wild and so much fun. I want you to know that once we get into the actual gameplay, it is just as goofy and chaotic as Dames and Dragons. So, don't you worry. There will be goofs. But I am being a good boy and not spoiling anything so Noelle doesn't chop my head off with a big sword, so that's all I'm going to say. I told you we have a lot on the docket for this mid-roll. Next up, I've got 2 magnificent personal messages from our online store. First off, I have a message from the infamous Brian Tatoski, who is always a delight in our live streams. I will never forget the time I bonded with Brian in that foxhole on the front lines. Becoming fast friends forever between the constant machine gun fire and constant alliteration. How we kept each other sane, even after the Dear John letters came, even though that wasn't a term until the 1940s. How we pined for the lights and gaiety of Paris back in our old lives as street mimes. How we were both abducted by aliens and subjected to unspeakable horrors, mixed with speakable ones, but mostly unspeakable. Really 70-30. Even though distance separates our friendship, that special connection between imaginary character voice Errol just made up and mid-roll ad purchaser is eternal. Like a hydrogen atom pair with no extra energy applied. It is a bond which won't be broken. Thank you, Brian, for letting me do a goofy, weird character mid-roll, guilt-free. Doot, doot, doot. Donut. Thus concludes this verbatim reading of Brian's message. Godspeed, soldier. Godspeed. Looks like another message came in with the ration shipment. Let's see what it says. It's from Swordman, and it reads, To the Legend Lark Discord community, thank you for being such a wonderful bunch of people, for being there for me and for each other through some happy and hellish times, and for being a place where I feel welcomed and connected. I love you, teeth and all, and remember, Swordman thinks you are stronger than you know. That's beautiful, Swordman. Thanks for keeping morale up. Well, comrades, there's only one thing left to do. And that's to deliver this message to Chantel. Chantel, we're under heavy fire. The Scarecrow walks at midnight. The code word is Dare the Brave. The sleeper agent is active. Stay out of the basement. The eagle has left the nest. Go!
A year passes and we are back in New Estra. The city is thriving, bustling, with travelers arriving daily to take in the wondrous sights or find themselves in apprenticeships so that they too can learn magic. Some have more aptitude than others, but as time goes on, there are more and more who are able to do at least a few cantrips. New Estra is quickly becoming one of the great cities of the world, and while it may never be as grand as the floating city in the sky, it is becoming something else, something it never was before. It's becoming part of this world. The city is full of bustle and even more travelers than usual. Mary has decreed that there will be a festival to remember all of those who were lost in the battle against Torva. There are delegations from Ilfra, Danmar, Madria, and even Nakama. The dwarves who chose to stay in their little hill fortress on the edge of Estra are housing the delegations from Essedel, and Selny is staying with them. The town square is full of merchants, street performers, jugglers, musicians, and acrobats. You hear the survivor's ballad played on every street corner, almost to the point where you're getting a little tired of hearing it. However, it is still a favorite, and on this anniversary, it feels appropriate. Corbin, what have you been doing in the last year?
So at the beginning of the year, he was lost. He was wayfish.
As usual.
Corbin was left just wasting away, unsure what to do. Really, I think he had to come to terms with something, which was that he had no identity outside of be a guardian, kill Torva. And that was kind of what he had formed his whole actual core personality around. And so, like, you know, he had his jokes, right? But he was not. There was nothing else.
He had a brief stint as a stand-up comedian.
He went around and he did gesture work for like maybe a couple months. But the problem was that it wasn't funny when people actually thought he was funny. He wasn't having a good time. He didn't think it was funny. He was great at it, but it didn't fill him with anything. And he thought, you know what? I need to find somebody who just really thinks I'm not funny at all. And he reached out to an old friend named Alden. And he was like, hey, Alden, you want to
Hook up.
You want to get into business together? Meaning, do you want to hook up? But he very much was like, we're going to start a business. This is professional, strictly speaking.
Yeah.
And Alden, I'm assuming Kat was like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Corbin went to, is Alden still living in the forest? Okay. Yeah, he just went there. And then he went to Varahara and he was like, Varahara, how are the beast gods doing? And Varahara was like,
They're everywhere.
they're everywhere.
Yeah, I don't know how they're doing. They're everywhere.
They're disparate. They're everywhere. And Corbin was like, that's not right. That's not right. These guys, they're the beast gods.
They should be together.
They should be together. And then Corbin was like, I have an idea. He saw a crow fly above him. And he was like, oh. And it wasn't actually a crow, it was a magpie, but it looked enough like a crow that he was like, oh my God, I got a brilliant idea. And he was like, we're going to start an animal sanctuary, you guys. To Varahara and Alden, who I'm assuming Alden was like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And then Varahara was like, what a great idea, my boy.
Good Varahara impression.
Thank you.
You would.
And then that's what they did. They started small. It was just a couple of crows and a deer. And then a wolf came wandering in because the wolves love the scrappies. And then it got a little bit bigger, and Corbin sent Slugbird out to all the other various beast gods and was like, hey, you know, we should have a network of beasts, a beast work, you could say. And some of them were into it. And some of them were like, who are you? But eventually a lot of them got on board. And then he expanded and they expanded and they expanded. And then all kinds of animals started coming in from other continents. And secretly, Corbin was so excited about this because he could commune with all of these animals, and the repertoire of animals that he can now turn into is massively insane. Just things that you just wouldn't think should exist.
You mean like a dinosaur?
That's already happened.
More than that, even. Just more than that, you wouldn't even believe.
I
the
believe
things.
it. I believe it. So Corbin, let's
Wait, there's one more thing.
Oh yeah, tell me.
There's one more thing. Because all of this is nice, but you know, you have to have hobbies. And so Corbin lives in a house on the property of the sanctuary.
With Alden?
Sure. If he, I imagine that Alden is like an on again, off again presence, and he stays there for as long as he can tolerate being around
he
Corbin,
disappears
and then
into
he
the woods.
disappears into the woods for like a couple of months.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay, cool. That's what I'm assuming is happening.
Yeah.
But Corbin lives there full time, and there's a secret room in his basement.
Okay.
Don't get perverted. It's not nasty. But it is secret.
I didn't say it was nasty.
It is secret. And if you go down into that room, if you're lucky enough to be shown one of the few trusted members of his inner circle, you will find a network of string charting the movements of one dashing Dawson.
Oh my God.
Across the earth. Corbin knows where he is at all times.
Oh my God.
And he is waiting and watching. And that's what Corbin's been doing for the last year.
All right, so Corbin, on this day, on this beautiful day, you're getting packed up to head into town.
Mhm.
You know, you're not that far outside of New Estra.
No.
You know, you're out in the woods. You've got this beautiful property that you've been maintaining, lots of animals. You receive a crow that comes to give you a message. They have a new report on the movements of Dawson.
Corbin ushers the crow inside quickly.
Yeah. And you know, you've been getting ready to go into town. You've got your little town bag all packed up, and you know, you've got your water bottle and your snacks for the walk.
Mm-hmm.
And the messenger relays to you that Dawson will be in town today.
Corbin wasn't drinking anything, but he takes a swig of the nearest liquid and spits it out and says, "Damn it, God's damn it. Oh, thank you. Oh, fuck."
And in fact, Dawson is there now.
Corbin runs out the door. Corbin runs back in and grabs his stuff. And then Corbin runs back out the door.
Runs back out the door.
Nice.
All right. We'll come back to you in a minute, Corbin, as you run as fast as your little legs can carry you in various animal shapes towards Estra.
Some inscrutable. Some the naked eye cannot even perceive.
Wow.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Slake, where have you been this last year?
Yeah. Well, Corbin started off in New Estra, and Mary
Mary's there.
and Leica are
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
So that's where Slake is. And yeah, likewise, it was definitely hard and weird kind of figuring out life after spending all this time like being a guardian. So yeah, Slake definitely has, you know, tried to be there emotionally for Corbin as he's been figuring his stuff out. And Slake definitely volunteers to help Corbin with various projects. So, you know, they're seeing each other and yeah, hanging out with Leica and Mary. And I think what Slake would want to do is work with some people in the community in New Estra to start an community art gallery. So yeah, it'd be like a really welcoming space. And, you know, it's totally about having people express themselves through art. And it's, you know, the idea is really that art should be for everybody. And, you know, there's classes and maybe some art therapy stuff.
Mhm. I think a lot of people in Estra need some art therapy.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of people just need therapy, period, but they've
Yeah.
got art therapy available to them now. And I think it's a huge hit. Your workshops, your little community space is bustling. People come all the time. There's pottery classes. And actually, on this day, this festival day, the little bell to the space rings, and you look up and see Namavi standing in the door.
Hello!
As she looks like she has been very awkward in this
Is
space.
she gonna do art therapy?
And she says, it's like, I'm here to take a class.
Oh my God. And Slake, like their eyes are so big and shiny and they look so delighted and they're just radiating an aura of joy and they don't even say anything.
Say nothing, just get Namavi set up with like some clay and some paint.
Yes. And I give Namavi a big hug.
Scared to say anything to scare her away.
Yes, yes, yes.
Every time you're like,
So you set her up and she spends the afternoon. She says to you, she says, I've taught you much, Slake, and now it is time for you to teach me.
Oh my God. Slake is just like tearing up. They're at a loss for words.
Oh, and so Namavi spends her little class with you doing some like coil pottery, you know, some coil pottery, some stuff like that. Very simple clay work. And at the end of it, she presents you with a little red beetle figurine that she's made. Who says,
Oh, Vito.
and she says, this is to remind you of your home caves.
Oh, Namavi, it's so beautiful.
It's fine. We don't ever need to talk about it again.
Oh, I'm going to talk about it in my heart every day. I'm going to put it on a special little spot so I can look at it always and think about you, Namavi.
That's your choice. And then she looks over her shoulder as a blur of black shape-shifting runs past your door. She goes, is that your weird little friend?
Corbin!
All right. Fran, where have you been for the last year?
So Fran, she started out in New Estra as well. And she kind of loitered around, finished up some last missions with the crew, but she started to feel kind of more and more itchy, kind of like she did on original recipe Estra.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, she started to think about what she wanted before all this. Because, I mean, unlike Corbin and Slake and assumedly Laika, she never really felt comfortable being a guardian. And she felt more and more in the group, obviously, as time went on, and was dedicated to protecting Mary because Mary's her friend. But she didn't want to be there. So she ends up contacting like old boating buddies.
Like
Pirates?
Noon, Captain Noon.
Captain Noon!
Captain Noon!
Yes.
Captain
Although
Noon of the SS 3.5 Final Chapter Prologue.
I do love the idea of Fran just having like other boating buddies, like off screen.
Yeah,
that she was
well-
big. She was a big boat head.
I mean, she is and she does.
Yeah.
So jot that down. Captain Noon is premier amongst them, but
Mhm,
there's,
sure.
you know, there's a couple pirates from the pirate island.
Mhm.
There's some people from every seafaring area we've been to.
Mm-hmm.
Danmar, Madria, etc.
Yeah.
Everywhere she's been that's near the ocean, she has been off screen making friends with boating enthusiasts. And
Okay.
and she gathers them all up and she makes a crew. And she also invites Phelan
Mm-hmm. Oh, and he goes with
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
because Phelan is now her male wife.
Yeah, he is.
And he will follow her wherever she goes, assumedly, whilst leaving and doing his own little missions on the side.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He can still
Missions-
teleport like the Dickens.
Yes.
Missions like making dinner for Fran, cooking and cleaning. Am I right?
Oh my God! Yeah, exactly. No, but anyway, so Fran and her crew, they're like fucking traversing this whole ass planet, and particularly like finding areas where magic has pooled in the ocean and areas where there's still old magic, like old cities that have been underwater or dead sea monsters
Mm-hmm.
with their bones full of marrow.
What has happened to Fran?
Fran
Fran became Corbin there for a second.
I was just gonna say.
Yeah, damn.
Dang.
Magical marrow. Anyways, basically, like, she and her group are like salvaging old magic and participating in what I'm assuming is a new economy or a new form of the old economy of magic items
Yeah, absolutely.
as magic starts to get redistributed in the world. And she sends, like, she wants to keep her promise to Slake, I think it was, who asked her to talk about her feelings.
Yeah.
So she's been sending these, like, really horrible letters to you guys.
Horrible, you say.
That are to you guys both and Laika and Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Individually, or is it
you
like
could
one
just send-
letter
we
to
can
all
share
of
it.
us?
It's a form letter that she makes 4 copies of and sends it out to all of you. And it's like, hi guys, it's Fran. And then it just is like a list of every feeling she's felt. So it'll just be like hungry, sad, happy,
God damn it.
admiring the beauty of the ocean, horny, etc.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And you guys have the full rundown. And then at the end, she always writes missing friends and then
Aw.
signs Fran.
I just want to interject. Corbin's been keeping these letters and actually making a tally and a matrix
Yeah.
based on the frequency of which emotions Fran is experiencing the most and at which times.
That's really going to help Fran in her journey.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Corbin thinks it will.
So Fran is just like really trying to get healthier in her own special way. But also like
Does she come visit us?
sometimes, usually Phelan has to be like, you're being crazy, go visit your friends. Because she is still kind of guilty and uncomfortable and maybe waiting for another shoe to drop.
Mm. So the therapy's going well.
But she's trying her best.
So therapy's going well.
She's trying her best. So you and Phelan have come back to town. Where do you think you docked? Because there's 2 places you could have docked your ship, either in Nakama, which is Nakama, or Hero's Gate, which was previously a Torva stronghold.
I think we would choose Nakama.
Both bad. Both bad.
Both bad. I think Phelan would not want to go to Hero's Gate, so
No.
we would be in Nakama.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys dock in Nakama. You put a wheel lock on your ship to make sure it doesn't get stolen.
Yeah, we do.
You remove any valuables from the hold of the ship.
Kat, has Nakama improved at all? over
No,
the
it's
last
gotten
year?
worse, if anything.
Thank God. Okay.
Love you, Nakama.
Love you, Nakama. Never change.
Nakama.
Unless you're getting worse.
Yeah, I think that the new influx of magical items and just magic in general has made that city just turned it up to 11.
Probably added a new smell.
It definitely added a new sort of ozone-y smell to the city.
Interesting.
But yeah, so you
I
guys.
bet Phelan loves it here.
Oh, actually, I think Phelan does love it because he is just so like. He's really good at navigating the streets of
Yeah,
Nakama. And he's like, anytime somebody tries to rob him, he's just like, oh, you scallywag.
He's already robbed them.
He's
with
like-
his people.
He's like, that didn't work. It never
That was
worked.
cute.
That was cute. Yeah. He actually does very much enjoy Nakama.
Oh, nice.
Cute.
We come here a lot.
Yeah, you do.
Let's go on dates here.
It's also where we have to like sell our wares.
Yeah, that's actually true. You probably are pretty frequent visitors to Nakama because that has the biggest market for magical items. So you guys dock in Nakama, and then Phelan teleports you guys to New Estra, and you arrive just in time to see Corbin tearing through the streets, followed by Slake, and three of you converge on the square. I assume, Fran, as soon as you see them running, you also run after them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm just like, oh, and start running.
Yeah.
I assume Phelan follows me.
Yeah.
Corbin hasn't noticed that anyone's following him.
No,
He
you have a
is single-mindedly.
single-minded
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah.
And you guys come to a screeching halt in the square where you find a red-faced Dawson speaking with Mary, who is trying her best to calm him down.
What?
As he is yelling at her. He's yelling at her, you swore to me on your name. And,
Whoa. What's going on over
Hey, who's in my fucking city?
Back it up.
Get out of here.
Hi, Corbin and Slake.
Hi, Fran. Hi, Slake.
It's okay. I understand. We have to.
I know
priorities.
we all came here for one reason, and it's this motherfucker right here.
I mean, that's not why I'm here, but I don't want him to yell at Mary. It's rude.
Mary waves her hands to try and calm down the situation and signs,
I'm calming up, Mary.
no, please, everybody, please, calm down. Please calm down. Dawson, you survived. That was what I promised you.
For now.
Survived. And she gives you a very meaningful look, Corbin.
I have done nothing. I haven't laid a single finger on his big, red, greedy head. Yet.
And Dawson gives a big dramatic sigh. He says, survival. Huh. And yet, every day I feel my magic slipping from me, draining away. Soon I'll be no better than him. And he points dramatically towards Diamond, who is like playing for a rapt audience. Like there's a concert fully going on the other side of the square.
You should be so lucky. You're nothing like Diamond. You could never be Diamond.
I don't want to be Diamond. You all don't even understand the preparations I made, the agents that I burned, the money I wasted. And now what? I'm just going to wither away? Because some teenagers thought that they could change the world?
Corbin steps up and he says, I got news for you, bub. You are already wasting away.
Get his ass. Get him.
The only reason you're still alive is because Mary's still alive. If anything would happen to her, any horrible accident that I don't want to have happen.
What?
I'm just saying, in a really unfortunate event, if something happened to Mary,
It's not going to.
it won't, but if it did, you're the first on my list.
I'm so
I know where you
scared.
are all the time.
Horrifying. If you want to buy something, you can just ask.
What do you have for sale?
Don't buy from him.
I'm not going to. I just want to know what he has.
Fran is also like looking really interested, like eyebrows raised.
It's like, I've heard you've been making some interesting acquisitions, Miss Franica.
Don't talk to her.
Don't talk to me.
And Mary takes a minute and she like smooths her hands over her hair and like takes a breath and she signs, okay. Dawson, I hate to say this, but I have been thinking about this and I still have much of the power that I gained during our travels, and I think I can spend some of it on a solution that will be good for everyone. And she looks at you, Corbin, specifically, but also at Fran, and it's like,
You're gonna kill Dawson?
no.
Hell yeah, Mary. Crazy Mary back at it again.
Crazy Mary.
You're so crazy.
That's our crazy friend, Dawson.
I'm not going to kill Dawson. One, I promised I wouldn't, but
Oh, yeah.
the forces, they implied that there are more worlds out there, right? Than just this one. So, Dawson, I will extend my powers out to you to protect you through the void as you go find somewhere else.
Mary, wait, Mary, I have huge concerns that this could have implications for other worlds that may or may not exist in the future, that may or may not be tied to us in any way, shape, or form.
I mean, we can't just
I'm concerned about this, Mary.
just set Dawson loose on some poor
Launch him
unsuspecting.
into space.
If he's here, I know what he's doing.
Launch him.
If he's here, I know what he's doing.
I don't want him, going around making problems for other people.
Also, like,
Other people, not us.
this is my hobby. What am I gonna do if he leaves? Am I just gonna go to Slake's art classes?
He's
I love
my
you,
main
Slake.
competitor.
I love
Think
you,
of my
Slake.
business.
Yeah, but like, who am I gonna track around the world?
Mary signs group huddle, group huddle, group huddle.
We huddle.
Okay.
And we're like not very far from Dawson. Like
No, he can
No,
get
no,
Fran
around.
has to like hip check him out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
He needs to close
As
his
she
ears.
Goes in, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean he has to close his ears.
Mary signs, I've been thinking about this a lot, and this is not the first time Dawson has thrown a tantrum at me.
I know.
Yes, I know. I didn't
He
tell
should
you
be
about
dead.
all of the times because I knew you'd freak out.
No, I know
Yeah,
that he's.
I am freaking out,
I am
Mary.
aware of his every single movement. I know what he's done.
I love that you're going to launch him into space, Mary.
I think that the only way that I can be rid of my obligation to him and also guarantee that he's not going to cause problems in the future is to do this.
Now, Mary.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't want him fucking talking
I'll
to you.
find somebody
Yeah.
else to stalk. It's not a big deal. But,
Interesting.
Fran, would you like it to be you?
I thought it already was.
No. Well, for a little while. Okay, for a little while, but no, not anymore. What are
Well,
the
that's
chances? What are the chances that he just simply, Corbin does air quotes, dies
Why are you air quoting?
in the void? Cause so that he doesn't know, because he's listening.
Yeah, and he saw the air quotes.
Fuck.
Mary,
I don't know how the air quotes changed the meaning of what you said in any way.
Mary signs, my protection will only keep him from suffocating in the void or the void draining his magic away. Anything else that happens to him isn't our problem anymore.
If you shoot him off into space, does that mean that he doesn't have your survivor magic anymore?
I don't know, at a certain distance, probably.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Launch him. Launch him. Launch
Now
him.
wait, I want to know what the
launch him.
method is because I just want him to be as uncomfortable as possible.
Yeah, can you get rid of all of his powers somehow before he goes out into space?
Can we catapult him
Mary sighed, I can't.
naked?
No,
Ew.
I'm not going to do any of
You're a
that.
pervert.
But I
For
will.
his discomfort.
I don't like it.
And all of
it's
ours,
my
except for
discomfort.
you, apparently.
Corbin and Fran, I think I'll need your help for this.
Oh, for sure, Mary. Anything.
I whispered to Corbin, but you should try to kill him though when you do it.
Corbin nods. Yeah. Good idea, Slate. Good idea.
Mary lifts up her hand. She looks up and she lifts a hand, and a wet slug bird plops down onto her finger in a sick parody of a Disney princess.
Yes.
And she concentrates and listens for a moment and then says to the rest of you, Gary tells me the preparations are complete. I had hoped to say hi to you all before we did this, but I guess we're doing it now.
That's my boy.
Mary nods to Slugbird and launches him off.
I love you, son.
Away he flaps. He flops.
There he goes.
So she takes you guys to a clearing just outside of town where she has set things up, and she says, it'll be just like the train, okay? So I need a big plant, and Corbin, I need you to open the portal, and I will direct it.
Okay.
She takes your hands, and you guys execute this. Fran, you make a plant get real big.
Yeah, I make Plan B big.
You make plant be big. Corbin, you open up portal in the plant. And through that portal, you guys see just the blackness of the void. And Mary lets go of both of your hands, and then she steps forward to where Dawson has come with you guys, and she anoints him on the forehead and on the chest. And she signs, "You have my protection in the void. Now go. And please don't bother us again." And Dawson gives a haughty shake of his head, and he says, "Oh, don't worry. I won't be back to this wretched world anytime soon if I can help it. The four of you, it was a pleasure doing business." And he gestures to his beautiful deal donkey, Delilah, who gingerly steps forward and through the portal as he jumps up onto her back, and the two of them ride off into the darkness.
Wow.
Corbin tries to close the portal like before he's all the way out, but unfortunately he's just a fraction off.
I
So-
take
The clip clops fade into the distance.
I take your hands and we all stand in the circle and I say, "The evil has been defeated."
I was about to say the same thing.
Me too.
And Mary gives you guys a big hug.
Oh yeah,
Aw, Mary.
Fran jumps on Mary's hug.
Yeah.
Honestly, this feels better than when we killed Torva. This is amazing.
My body feels so light.
I know. I can't help but feel that this is gonna have repercussions for someone else somewhere far away.
Not my problem.
I hope not.
Well, only time will tell.
All right, so you guys head back into town. And the festival is now really getting underway. Diamond's concert was kind of the big kickoff event. Everybody's absolutely gaga for Diamond still.
Do we have cool festival outfits?
Yeah, of course.
Obviously.
Of course you do. You all have cool festival outfits.
I feel like I want my outfit to be ribbon based. What colors do I need it to be?
Any colors you want.
It's like, okay. It's cerulean, navy, magenta, and yellow.
Okay, and it's all
And it's ribbons. It's just all ribbons. It's like draped ribbons.
okay.
And
You've
it's
got
like a
like
beautiful dress of ribbons.
yeah, you've got like a little like mini dress of ribbons.
Yes.
Yeah, very cool, very cute.
And I have ribbons in my hair, but they're just floating around.
You've got this little
And there's
bows
one
floating.
tied around my head like a baby.
Oh my god.
It's really cute. You've even convinced Phelan to like wear a matching like doublet.
Yes,
That's-
it's made of ribbons.
Yeah, it's like made of ribbons, and you know he feels a little uncomfortable with it because he's an all black goth,
Yeah.
but he'll do it for you.
He can wear the rest of his outfit can be all black.
Yeah, it's all black except for this one very colorful doublet.
Aw.
And he is very clear. Like anytime someone compliments on it, he's like, "Thank you, Fran picked it out."
He can wear all black ribbons. I'm
No,
okay
no,
with
he's
it.
no, he's wearing colors to match you because it's a special festival and he's a good boyfriend.
Jesus.
Corbin's like, "What are your festival?"
God, I wasn't planning on having to describe an outfit again. Shit.
One more time.
We have to have
This is-
festival
no, this is
outfits.
important.
We always do.
Okay, so Corbin arrives. He had to go home and get his outfit put together because he had forgotten to change into his outfit in his haste
okay.
to come and kill Dawson.
Yeah.
So he comes back and he has shiny black thigh-high lace-up boots with very high heels. Very, very high heels. And he's got like little poofy pants kind of that are tucked into them. So like, but it's just a small amount of poof because the thigh highs are really like they're mid-thigh. They're high. You know,
Okay.
you know how Corbin do.
I'm loving this.
And then around his wrists, he has big, fluffy, like feather bracelets that are like got little jingle jangles on them.
Nice.
And then also he has a feather choker around his neck. And then he has obviously a boob window, but it's like a pale kind of like, it's not his normal all black ensemble. It's like a pale white boob window shirt that comes up. His little booty shorts are also like high waisted.
Nice.
And they also lace up in the back.
Important. Important.
Yeah, and then he has his boob window shirt, but it's like a white boob window, so it's like not as stark.
I see. He's modest as hottest.
He's modest as hottest. Yeah, he's for Corbin, it's a very modest outfit.
All right, so like, what's your festival outfit?
Yeah, I think Slake is wearing like a very fun, weird outfit that's like very assemblage-y, where it's like an art piece where it's made of all of these weird collaged found materials. So there's colorful threads and there's like upholstery fabric, and there's like little glittery objects like and beads.
Cool.
I think it's like a long
Do they use
coat.
like any stuff that their art people make?
Yes, absolutely. It's something that they've been working on at the studio.
Mhm.
They did like a workshop for people to make their festival outfits and collaborate with each other.
Cool.
Yeah, it's got a lot of different kind of colors and iridescence kind of mixed in happening. And then they've got like a collaged headpiece as well that's got that kind of beetle horn look.
Oh, very
Hell
cool.
yeah. Cool.
Mary is wearing this beautiful white dress with a rainbow underskirt. Like it's lots of different layers of different gauzy fabrics in bright hues so that as she walks, there's like a rainbow that swirls around her. Laika meets you guys at the festival. She's taken on a lot of the day-to-day leadership of New Estra. Mary is there sort of as a higher authority, but Laika's the one who's been on the ground doing this stuff the whole time, and much of Estra looks to her for leadership already. So she has really stepped up in the last year and become, she calls herself the mayor, but there hasn't been a mayoral election, and at this point, nobody really wants to call one because they don't know who would run against Laika.
I mean, she has that cool eye patch, so
She
like
does.
Right, she's got a cool eye patch. It's very hard to challenge her. Laika joins you guys, and she is
We
wearing
give her hugs.
yeah.
yeah, and she's wearing an outfit that matches Mary's. It's like white with lots of like rainbow accents. She's wearing like a white armor, but has like sort of similar to like your ribbon look, Fran. It's like a slash and puff sleeves with different like rainbow colors coming out of it.
Some gay ass fucking shit.
Yeah,
Yay.
Mary and Laika are going to the Pride Ball.
Hell yeah.
So you guys all spend the day walking around the fair. The delegation from Danmar, you find Princess Zom has come with his wife, Princess Renetta, and their baby.
Oh.
They've got-
Okay.
All right.
and they are playing with Queen Tenavine and Queen Lillian's daughter, who is just a tiny little bean of a thing.
Oh.
Let's see. Alden is there. Well, he's sort of there. You see him, and he immediately, upon seeing all of you, blends back into the background so fast you're not even sure he was there.
Where'd he go?
Corbin yells, "I saw you, bitch!"
Oh,
But doesn't pursue because he knows that will have consequences for him later.
Oh shit.
Things are going well with Alden then.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Seems good.
You guys see Selny with a delegation of dwarves that all have umbrellas.
I forgot
Hell
about
yeah,
that.
that's
Yeah.
so fucking
They
funny.
all have umbrellas, and Selny is like coaching them through. She's like, we're all going to take down our umbrellas on 3, 1, 2. And then everybody's like, no, we can't do it. We can't. You guys catch up with Swan Roxon, who is frequent at your art therapy slake. And he catches up with you guys to confirm the fireworks for the night. And he looks at you all and he says, I promise this time I've double, triple, quadruple checked them. And Mary signs, I have 2. They're just fireworks.
We trust you, Swan.
Don't worry, Swan.
Swan, nothing that happens has ever been or will ever be your fault.
Also, like, we're already on the ground, so
We couldn't fall
we
more.
couldn't fall further than this.
Swan nods. He says, you're right, but still. And he looks at Mary and she signs at the same time. He says, no lanterns this time.
We appreciate your dedication, Swan.
You're a hero, Swan.
You all are the heroes. I'm just doing my best.
Oh, Swan.
Damn.
So is there anyone else we want to check in on, catch up with?
How's my little buddy Darius doing?
Darius is doing really well. In fact, he's doing surprisingly well. Like for a beetle, he has lived a really long time and he shows no signs of slowing down.
Oh,
Oh.
You're starting to suspect with your, helping Corbin out at his animal sanctuary and interacting with more of the beast gods. You're starting to suspect that Darius may have started out as just a regular beetle, but he's not a regular beetle anymore.
Wow.
my
Wow.
special little guy.
Did Darius and Slugbird have like a home together?
In Slake's pocket?
No, like, I don't know, like in Slake's house or something. Or
I think
like,
I think that they don't live together.
I imagine them in
It's a
birdhouses
situationship.
together.
Yeah, it's a situation. They have
Okay,
a situation set.
all
It's an
right.
on again, off again
Yeah,
thing.
Corbin gets that.
But I think that like you each have a birdhouse. Like Slake has one at the studio.
Mhm.
Corbin, you've got one in the
Woods.
sanctuary in the woods. And each of them live in one place technically, like they each have their own place, but they are always in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
They just switch between which place they're staying at.
Yep.
They're in denial that they're married.
Yeah,
they're married.
exactly.
They don't know it.
Yeah, they're married. They don't know it. They have a whole situationship. It's
Sometimes
really
I
complicated.
wake up and I hear them screaming about who owes who more money.
No, yeah, they.
It's so romantic.
Yeah, they love to fight.
Yeah.
That's just like their love language. Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
I love that for them.
So happy for them.
So as the evening draws to a close, Mary takes you guys up to the top of the Tower of the Goddess. The kings and queens are below making speeches, and they will say all of the right and proper words to honor the living and memorialize the dead. But this moment is just for all of you. The ones who went on this journey together, who changed the world and were changed in turn. Mary sits with you all as the night moves slowly towards day, and you all spend the evening talking and laughing and reminiscing. And you watch the fireworks together until the last stars wink out in the gray dawn above you. And that's it. We're done.
Oh my God. What the heck?
It's all over now. Go home. There's no more podcasts.
Oh my
Stop it,
God.
Kat.
Say that
Don't
stuff to
say
me.
that.
Thank you for writing us such a wonderful
Kat.
story.
Thank you, Kat. That was amazing. Thank you all for playing D&D with me for 8 years.
We'll continue.
Well, we won't play
Well, not
D&D.
D&D,
Never
but-
play D&D again.
We're never playing
It will
D&D
be
again.
Damn, Arrow.